Namaskar, everyone. Welcome to Sunday. We are on a journey. Even though you're sitting here, meditating with me, chanting with me, you're on a journey. Not a physical journey on the outside, but a journey in the consciousness space. An evolutionary journey in consciousness. The consciousness is moving from limitation to being limitless. It is moving from individual consciousness to the experience of cosmic or infinite consciousness. Energetically, it's a journey along the energy path, along the spinal column. The Sushumna Nadi in Kundalini science, energy science. Every relationship you have in life is part of that journey. Every challenge you have in life is part of that journey. Every reward that comes to you is part of that journey. And you are in charge of that journey, not somebody else. Not your neighbor or your enemy or your friend. They're not in charge of your journey. You are. Life just doesn't happen. We cause it to happen by our thoughts, our actions, our intentions. We call that the karmic play. The end of the journey is really about living in freedom whilst confined in a body or confined in a form, energy form that we call soul, individual soul. The end of a journey is freedom in the consciousness that we are not confined in the body, even though we live in the body. The idea of individual consciousness is called a jiva, sentient being. And freedom on the inside, where you transcend the limitation of the jiva, is called jivan mukti, freedom within the confines of the form or the individuality. So that's the goal. The goal is to enjoy the human experience fully. Doesn't matter what is happening in the space. Whether we are greeted lovingly or whether we are greeted angrily. We should center the God space where we never lose stability. It's called equanimity. To that practice of equanimity, that sādhana should always be with us. But what makes a journey exciting, of course, it's grace. Because this is a difficult journey. Sometimes we feel totally overwhelmed. And we don't even know how to come out of this thing. But the journey is filled with grace. The loving guru, the challenging guru, is one of the support in this space, the guide. Not the ego guide, not the one who guides us towards more subservience. No, the guide who leads us to freedom. The guide who takes us to where they are in that free space within them. That's one form of support we have in the space. So we should seek them out when we need them. And we should follow their instructions. Some of us read a lot. We have a lot of information. You can inflate the ego if you're not careful, because you think you know. But knowledge is not the goal. It is part of the way. Understanding something is part of the way. Experiencing it is the goal. Knowledge has to be turned into experience. In the Upanishad, there are 3 steps to freedom. Hearing, shravan, contemplation, until you understand it, mana, but then establishing yourself in the experience, nididhyasana. So you can have a lot of knowledge, you can lecture powerfully, but if you don't have the experience, you're not free. You're tied to knowledge. I know that. I've heard this talk so many times. I know this. Do you really know this? Have you experienced it? How does experience come? It comes through sādhana, spiritual discipline. You know that when the caterpillar has gorged itself by eating so much until it can't eat again, what does it do? It attaches itself to the underside of the leaf. And as grace would have it, as the process of nature would have it, a crust develops. Caterpillar is going through a metamorphosis. It's going to morph into a butterfly. It's going to change its shape into a butterfly. So it has to stop eating anymore. It has to cocoon itself. And nature gives it that drive to stop eating and to cocoon itself. And in that cocoon, a lot is happening. Transformation is happening. Great process is happening. Metamorphosis. It changes into a butterfly. But this butterfly will have wings that it needs to harden. So in the process of breaking the crust, it will begin to harden its wings. And when the wings become really tough and strong, it breaks the crust. And now the crawling creature is going to become a flying creature. Freedom. Freedom. That's very much what sadhana does. But for sadhana, we need to know when to cocoon. We need to know, understand when we are so full of knowledge, but no experience. We need to know when to stop thinking and reading and gorging ourselves with knowledge. When we feel that urge, no, I need to stop this thing, I need to stop, I need to stop, I need to stop. Grace will come and show you how to cocoon. And in that cocoon, the sadhana has to happen. We need to be conscious of the inner and to be guided by the inner. Follow the guidance of nature, the Kundalini Shakti, the evolutionary power. She's going to take us through the metamorphosis. That's pretty much what happened to me. She cocooned me for 40 days. I had no choice, absolutely no choice. And I'm happy she did, because I would have never done it myself. I felt the pangs of giving up and just staying alone, but I didn't know how to do it. She did. She helped me to do it. She became my guru. But not all of us would have that level of support. But then the guru can help us to cocoon. The guru can help us to cocoon. And that's the space I create here. The space of sadhana. We have an environment that's totally devoted to that metamorphosis. Of the soul. That can lead you to freedom. Don't you feel weary in the journey, full of knowledge, but no experience? Don't you feel that you're missing something? The joy of life? The freedom of being? The connection with the universe? Don't you feel that you're missing that? Well, would you commit yourself to sadhana? Would you commit yourself to staying within the confines of discipline, self-discipline? Doesn't mean that you have to stop your job on the outside, but you have to stop your attachment to things. Some of us, we're not free enough to go to a remote space, a retreat space. But definitely, we can confine ourselves on the outside to disciplined thinking, to mindfulness, to breath practices, to channeling energies of love and peace and goodness in our activities. If we do that and we do it correctly, we'll begin to feel the lift. It's a different kind of cocooning when you are on the outside. But here, you can be confined in a beautiful space of guidance, of self-discipline. And that's why I'm intensifying the energy in this space for sadhana. That's going to happen throughout this year. I'm committed to sadhana. I absolutely enjoy this reclusive space. And if you find me not traveling, it is because I'm cocooned in this space to create a high energy space for those who need it. Just like my gurus did. Life is a journey. It's a journey of evolution. If you don't follow the inner guidance that comes to you, you're going to be miserable until you do. But when you do follow it, life itself will lift you from darkness into light. So we need to be conscious when life is becoming overwhelming and we need that period of sadhana. And we need to be conscious of the misery of the ego until it becomes free, where we need to be more loving, more kind, more compassionate, more understanding, and not give way to anger and aggression and indiscipline. That's a choice we need to make. A choice we need to make. We have the power of choice. Use it wisely. When you find a lot of problems in your outer life, life is telling you a story. You're going the wrong way. If there are no problems as you navigate life, beautiful, you're free. But when life becomes miserable, be careful. Is it time to cocoon? Is it time to retreat? Is it time to become more disciplined? And the way of discipline is absolutely marvelous. I cannot live in an indisciplined way. My every conscious moment is full of discipline. Every conscious moment. Whether I'm active in the world, I'm disciplined in my thinking and awareness. And how I channel energies into the world. I don't take power away from people. I lift them. I know when to speak and when not to speak. But in everything that I do, I'm actively loving. Sometimes silently loving when my love is not accepted. But I'm still loving. Let's appreciate life's journey. If you don't consciously navigate with awareness and wisdom, life will punish you. Not in a bad way. Like a mother would scold a child because the mother loves the child. Life will scold you because life loves you. Until you begin to align yourself to the power of the universe. Have a blessed Sunday, everyone. I've spoken enough. Namaskar.